Hello and welcome to LISC International College of Hotel Management. Today we will look at Chapter 1. Chapter 1 will focus on the introduction to front office operations. The chapter objectives are as follows: the importance of effective front office operations, the organisation structure of front office operations, the roles and responsibilities of front of house departments and staff, an overview of the guest cycle, pre-arrival, arrival, occupancy and departure, the role of property or hotel management systems, how front of house departments liaise and communicate with other departments in the hotel, and how hotels and other accommodation providers differ in such a way as to require different procedures and systems. The topic list includes front office operations, front of house organisation, roles and responsibilities of front of house staff, the guest cycle, liaising with other departments, property management systems, and different types of hotels. What is the front office? When people decide that they want or might want to stay in a hotel, they may check out the hotels and email the reservations department to ask about room rates and availability. Telephone the hotel office or switchboard and ask to speak to someone, perhaps in the reservations department, about room rates and availability, the facilities and location of the hotel, and other information that will help them make the decision to book. Walk in off the street and approach the front desk to ask about room rates and availability, and perhaps test out the friendliness and general look of the hotel. Someone will give the prospective guest the information he or she requires to make a decision, and may then take a booking for a certain type of room for a given number of nights. There may be some follow-up correspondence to confirm the booking, give extra information such as maps on how to get to the hotel, or make adjustments to the bookings as the guest's plans change. When the guest arrives, he or she will go to a reception desk to register, be allocated a room and receive a room key, perhaps along with information about the facilities and services of the hotel. There may be a porter to help the guest with the luggage and or show the guest to the room. During the guest's stay, he or she may return periodically to the reception area for a number of reasons: to collect messages, leave and pick up keys, ask for information, make a complaint, or get problems solved. Perhaps the air conditioning isn't working or more towels are required. Perhaps the room isn't to the guest's satisfaction for some reason. The hotel may offer additional guest services such as currency exchange facilities, or use of an in-house office facility, restaurant or spa, or an information and reservation ticketing service for local attractions and activities. Guests will often access these services by ringing the hotel switchboard or approaching the front desk. At the end of a stay, a guest will generally return to reception to hand in the room key and receive and settle the bill. Help may be required with luggage or onward transport. Even after he or she has departed, the hotel office will keep the guest's registration details on file for a specified period, in case of queries, and may also use guest contact details to stay in touch, perhaps with a feedback form, newsletter, or special offers, so that the traveller will think of the hotel next time he or she requires accommodation in the area. All these important customer contacts which shape the total experience a guest has of the hotel from first impression onwards, are the job of the front office, or what used to be called the reception of the hotel. Front office is the term now often used in hotels to refer to the customer-facing departments dealing with reservations, reception, room allocation, guest information, billing and payments. Strictly speaking, it should only cover staff in direct help desk contact with guests, with supporting the administrative sections known as the back office, but the term is now generally used to cover the whole range of front of house activities. Introduction to front office operations. In a small hotel, front office functions may be carried out by a single person at a reception area or front desk, answering the switchboard, taking bookings, welcoming and registering guests, billing and processing payments, and so on. In a large hotel, there may be separate departments dividing these responsibilities, including switchboard, taking and routing telephone calls, reservations, taking bookings, reception or front desk, welcoming and registering guests at the main reception desk, concierge or inquiries, answering guests and visitors' questions, handling mail and guest keys, perhaps also handling car hire, tour bookings and entertainment tickets for guests. Billing office, preparing guests' accounts and bills. Cashier, receiving guests' payments and processing other financial transactions such as foreign currency exchange. Guest relations, handling guests' problems and complaints, dealing with VIP guests and guests with special needs. Uniformed staff, luggage porters, lift attendants, doormen, cloakroom attendants, garage attendants or valet parking, etc. For discussion, why do you think the front office roles are important for the functioning and success of a hotel? Why are front of house activities important? Front of house activities are important for several reasons. Front office may be the first contact a guest or prospective guest has with the hotel. Whether in writing, by telephone or in person, and is therefore the source of crucial first impressions which may help people decide whether to choose the hotel or not, winning or losing a prospective customer, influence everything else they think about the hotel. Due to what psychologists call the halo effect, a good first impression may predispose guests to think well of their rooms, the service they are given during their stay, and so on. A bad first impression may put them on the alert for other bad signals and incline them to find fault with everything else. Front office is the service hub of the hotel, the area where most guests' contacts and transactions take place throughout their stay. Guests' experience of hotel service is therefore mainly shaped by front office personnel and procedures. This is important because the quality and style of service is a major factor in providing an enjoyable, relaxing, satisfying experience for guests, which is, after all, the hotel's raison d'être. Helping the hotel stand out from its competitors, which may have similar rooms and facilities. Ensuring that guests will want to return again, and meanwhile give a positive report of the hotel or recommend it to other people. Hotels rely on this positive word-of-mouth promotion and definitely don't want guests spreading negative reports, especially since the internet allows them to tell thousands of other travellers in online hotel review sites and travel blogs when they've had a good or bad experience. Front office has a special responsibility for dealing with guests' problems and complaints. The critical incidents which can make all the difference between satisfaction and dissatisfaction. Front office is the communications hub of the hotel, through which information is exchanged and with all other departments of the hotel. If reception fails to tell housekeeping to make a room ready for arriving guests, or fails to relay a guest complaint about faulty air conditioning to the maintenance department, or fails to make a booking in the hotel restaurant for the guest, the system breaks down and the guest is not served. Likewise, if reception fails to heed housekeeping's warning that a room needs repair or redecoration, or fails to add a dinner charge sent through from the restaurant to the guest's bill, the system fails. Front office is the administrative hub of the hotel, where reservations are logged, room allocations are planned, room status is monitored, guest bills are prepared, payments are processed, records are kept, information displays are maintained, and so on. If all these tasks aren't carried out efficiently, the hotel would simply cease to function. If you have access to the internet, visit the review site at www.booking.com. Browse through some of the reviews left by travellers about different hotels. Make some notes about the factors that cause hotels to be positive and negatively reviewed, taking particular notice of the comments about customer service. How important is it for guests to be made welcome, or for their questions and complaints to be well handled? Also note any differences between the factors positively and negatively reviewed by leisure, single family and business travellers. What are the implications of your findings for front office staff? Front of house organisation. Organisation structure. A typical structure for a small hotel offering both accommodation and catering might be as shown in the following figure. Staff members are likely to carry out a variety of tasks within their general area. The restaurant staff, for example, will also deliver room service and serve tea and coffee in the lounge. The receptionist will handle reservations, check-in and check-out, billing, mail and switchboard, and so on. The manager and assistant manager will handle a variety of administrative and decision-making tasks, purchasing, bookkeeping, marketing, and so on. Here we see a typical organisation structure within a hotel. In a larger hotel, it is possible to organise staff into more clearly defined departments, each with a supervisor or department head. In a medium-sized hotel or a manager in a large hotel. There will also be more specialised staff because the hotel can afford to employ more people, and there will be more work for each person to do. The main revenue earning functions of the hotel are generally split into a rooms division responsible for accommodation and a food and beverages division responsible for catering. In a medium-sized hotel, there might be a manager and one more assistant managers who supervise operations probably on a shift basis, so that there is some managerial supervision 7 days per week. In a large hotel, there will be a general management team responsible for planning and coordinating the business and operations of the hotel. Unlike the hands-on manager of a small hotel, the manager here is essentially a business manager responsible for policy, planning and control. He or she may rarely encounter guests or intervene in day-to-day hotel decisions. The duty manager, as assistant managers at this level are often called, is the one with hands-on responsibility for dealing with guests and resolving problems and queries referred by front office staff. A number of duty managers may be employed to cover a 24-hour roster, so there is always someone available to deal with guest issues. Here is an organisation chart for a large hotel. The thing to notice about an organisation chart, if you ever have to draw one yourself, to depict the organisation structure of a hotel or other hospitality business, is that the branches of the chart show how roles and responsibilities are divided up into sections or departments. So, for example, the management of the hotel shown above is divided into two basic divisions: the rooms division and food and beverage division. The rooms division is, in turn, divided into four basic functions: front office, housekeeping, maintenance and security. The vertical connecting lines of the chart are also lines of authority and reporting. So, for example, reservation staff report to the front office manager, who reports to the rooms division manager. Or, to look at it in another way, policies and instructions flow down from the rooms division manager to front office staff. The connecting lines of the chart are also lines of communication and liaison. So, for example, it is clear from our chart that staff in the reservations, reception and cashier sections need to communicate with each other. Each contributes something to the overall work of the front office. At the same time, there is a line connecting reception and maintenance. Say, if a guest comes to reception and says that her TV isn't working or her window doesn't open, reception will have to liaise with maintenance to make sure it gets fixed. The rooms division. For discussion, why do you need so many people front of house these days? Mobile phones have replaced switchboards. The internet has replaced clerks. You can do everything with computers. The hotel could be more or less self-service for guests without having all these staff hovering around. Do you agree with this argument? If not, why not? Roles and responsibilities of front of house staff. Reservations. Reservations clerks are responsible for taking enquiries from prospective guests, travel agents, group or conference organisers and other parties who may wish to reserve accommodation. Their role is to obtain the information required to make a booking. Record that information in manual or computerized reservation records, monitor the levels of reservations, issue any documentation to guests to confirm the booking, for example, confirmation letters, requests for deposit, and ensure that reception is informed of confirmed reservation details and expected arrivals for each day. A reservations manager or supervisor will be in control of the section, organise staff duty rosters and make decisions on whether and which bookings should be accepted, if the hotel is fully booked or bookings have to be juggled to maximise occupancy. Advance reservations may be handled by the receptionist in a small hotel, but many hotels will have a separate reservations desk or department, perhaps in a back office near reception, since most reservation requests come in by telephone, mail, email or online rather than via walk-ins. The reservations department generally operates during business hours, say 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., to cover the peak times for bookings. Outside these hours, telephone reservations can be taken by reception. Reception or front desk. Reception may be an umbrella term for all front office functions, but in larger hotels there is likely to be a special reception desk. The main roles of receptionists or front desk agents are taking inquiries and reservation requests from walk-in visitors, preparing the arrival for guests, greeting guests on their arrival, checking guests in, registering them, allocating suitable rooms and checking methods of payment, selling the facilities and services of the hotel, responding to guest problems and queries, or referring them to other departments that can do so, providing information about guests to other front office units and departments of the hotel, and maintaining guest records. There may be a senior receptionist in charge of each team or shift of reception staff, who will take responsibility for staff rosters and the handling of more challenging tasks, such as group arrivals and guest problems, requests and complaints. There will also be a reception or front desk manager with responsibility for the training, supervision and motivation of reception staff, the maximisation of occupancy and revenue, yield management, from the sale of hotel facilities and services, and higher profile guest duties, for example, greeting VIP guests. The reception desk in a very small hotel may only operate extended business hours, say 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m, to cover the main peaks of activity. The hotel will often post an after-hours contact number or operate an intercom system to allow late arriving guests or guests with problems during the night to contact a designated on-call person, often a resident caretaker or manager. A larger hotel will seek to cover the reception desk on a 24-hour basis with a permanent night staff or night shift.